Hello.
How are you?
Good. You look like you're somewhere where you're teaching.
Oh, this is the room we do virtual teaching.
So you and I met at the University of Hartford,
Yeah.
and you were doing your master's, right?
Yes, in performance and Suzuki Ped.
That's right. Absolutely. And I was an unruly undergraduate. And I see that you're teaching your son all the time. And
Yes.
I think that's really cool. It's super awesome. My mom was a pianist, and she and I would play music together like every single day. It was just part of our routine. So what's it like teaching your child? Is it something that you ever thought you'd do? And how is it different than you would have ever imagined?
Well, it's really neat being on this. I call it completing the Suzuki Triangle because I was a student, then I became a teacher, and now I'm a parent, a Suzuki parent. So I'd always planned to try with my own kids,
Mhm.
and it was definitely something that took a lot of discipline. Well, I think more for me as the parent. But we've been really great with it. We do it almost every day. Um, Probably out of 80 days, like the past 80 days, we've probably missed maybe 5 days. So
Amazing.
we're very dedicated. It's part of our daily routine, and it's a fun thing, the two of us that we share together. And he gets upset if it's getting late in the day and we haven't done it yet.
See, this is cool to me. And I'm sure you've encountered this as a teacher. There's always like parents are like, I don't know how to motivate my child to practice. I don't know how to get them excited about it. They don't want to do it. It's like this chore. But I never experienced that because for me, it was always the special time that I hung out with my mom. Like every day we had this routine where she would come home from her day job. We would sit down and have dinner as a family. And then she and I would go to the front of the house where her piano was, and we would play music together. And this was just the norm, and it was like brushing my teeth or anything that you would do throughout the day. And
Right.
so it's funny to me. I'm always kind of like, well, are you like helping your child do it? Like, are you involved in this? And I understand that parents can be really intimidated by the violin. It's like this really intimidating, scary thing, but I would love to figure out ways to motivate parents to be more involved with their kids' practice.
Yes. Well, it's something that they're learning together. It's different for me because I'm a Suzuki teacher, and so I have that working for me, of course. But there's a lot of just creative ways, and with older kids, getting them to make it part of their routine each day, and they don't always want to do it, but it's even if you just get in a 10-minute session, it's better than not doing it at all that day.
Mhm.
So that's what I tell parents too. Those days, it's hard to carve out a half an hour or something. Um, so even a little bit every day. I
And
think the best thing that's been great for students, and even for me too, going back in person, is just playing together, physically in the same room. So
Mhm.
I found that's actually helped students a lot. One of those things that you take for granted, and then it's taken away, and then it's like, oh my gosh, finally we're back in person again, playing together in the same room, and that in itself has just been so helpful.
So you finished your master's, ended up in Delaware. How did that all end up happening?
So that I just took job interviews after finishing up at Hartt, and I wanted, I stayed kind of in one region. I interviewed as far as like Massachusetts, as Boston area.
Important. Is there anything that you've been playing recently that you were excited about, or in the last year or so, any
These
pieces that
days,
you've played?
these days, I haven't, we've done some orchestra. We would do the string orchestra thing in the fall
Mhm.
every year, and I chose not to do it this year, um, mainly because of the rehearsal schedule and like a little bit of COVID, being in a performance space with a live audience kind of thing. So I will definitely miss that this year because I love playing it every year. It's faculty, it's strings, sometimes a few winds, like we do a Mozart or a concerto or something that has like some horns and winds or something. But it's mostly string wrapped, and I look forward to it every year.